Tonight's forecast is sponsored by Ashbrook Audiology, where relationships matter.
Happy Thursday to you, everybody. Hope you're doing well. And of course, it has been a very nice, warm, and windy week across the entire area. And what's happening with that, that'll all begin to change as we head towards the weekend. And now I do want to begin with something that's been in the news pretty much all week long. You've been hearing about this beach erosion taking along the coast of the North Carolina, particularly Cape Hatteras and the Outer Banks. And of course, what's happening with that, there's been a low pressure system that has been pretty much retrograding, basically meaning it's just kind of just stalled out along the East Coast. As you remember, last weekend we had that rain. That's the same low pressure system that's been causing all this beach erosion and a lot of those houses to kind of just deteriorate and go in the ocean. Obviously, what's happening with that, we do have that increase of concern of climate change that has been a lot of allowing our sea temperatures to get warmer and rise up higher over the last several decades. And so a lot of people may say it's global warming, it's climate change. I'm not going to open that book up for a debate today, but I do want to let you know that that's what's been happening along the East Coast of North Carolina, along some of those beach houses, just kind of just swift on out to sea. And fortunately, there could be several more damage down there towards a lot of those sand dunes, giving a lot of that low pressure system an opportunity to cause more concern for the weekend. But what's going to happen with that same low pressure system, it's going to move right back in to the eastern part of the United States, giving us some scattered showers, some storms possibly for both Friday, all through the weekend, most likely, and going to early next week. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes, though. But that's what's been happening over the last several days. You've been watching the national weather, keeping up people that talking about that. Sea levels are rising. And that has been a concern for now several years, particularly the last 2 decades, as ocean water temperatures are warming up and increasing. And of course, now the sea ocean temperatures, obviously, that gets a lot of that climatology and ecology with all those concerns of high waters and the melting of the ice. We've been hearing about that for quite a while now. So that is a little bit behind the science of why that is happening. And now locally, no beach erosion expected for our area. Thankfully, of course, if we would be seeing beach erosion, we'd most likely seeing a lot of water going everywhere. We're not going to be seeing any rain tonight, or right now anyway. For the rest of the night, we'll begin to see some very cool temperatures, not as warm as we've been for the last several days. That it's been pretty consistently feeling more like the late May feel for the area over the last couple of days. We've been feeling more like the mid 70s compared to where we need to be right now. So we've been running above average, believe it or not. So we've just been in this pattern over the last several months where we may get a few days where it's just like average, and then we get well above average or below average. We're going to be a little bit below average this evening. So as you see here, or I guess tonight rather, then we'll begin to see some much cooler weather moving in for Friday. We do begin to see that rain moving on in for our area as you make your way out and about for tonight. So keep that in mind. If you have any week or plans this evening, you should be okay, because rain will be moving in later overnight with our temperature staying in the mid 50s out there. We'll begin to see over in the evening hours, our friends out towards the west will begin to see rain later in the overnight. So our friends here in Martinsville, Henry County, Franklin County, east going towards Pennsylvania, Charlotte County, they'll most likely see the rain first, and then they'll begin to scatter and move across much of the area. Moving on down to some area-wide temperatures for your Friday, we will begin to see some scattered showers. Spotty showers will begin the day, and then we'll most likely start out with some cloud cover there. 69 outside of Ferrum there. As you know, they had their graduation recently, so a lot of colleges are beginning to do that. This weekend is Virginia Tech's graduation, so do have an umbrella if you're heading out towards Blacksburg. There, lows to mid 60s and 70s there, pretty much for our entire area. 70 both Martinsville, Ridgeway, and most likely we'll see with this day, clouds will start out, and then most of the afternoon will be scattered spotty showers here or there with enough instability that could be a possible thunderstorm late in the day, but I'm not expecting any severe weather with the storm moving through for your Friday. So just keep that in mind. It'll also be breezy out there too. So other than that, things are going to remain pretty mild and warm. for the entirety of our area. So once again, Martinsville, Henry County, most likely scattered showers in the day. Those rain showers will begin to pick up late at night. So we'll most likely be hearing your teeter-tottering against the window with the rain. And something to talk about before we get to our end of the outlook is the pollen will be dropping. So all your allergy sufferers, you're going to be feeling pretty good over the next couple of days as the rain is moving in, washing that pollen out. So it has been pretty up in the air over the last several days. And again, maple, birch, hickory, excuse me, and birch and juniper are our main ones for this time of year. Mostly the tree pollen is what we're seeing for much of our area. And again, that pollen level will start to skyrocket back up towards the end at the beginning of next week. So here's what you expect for the next couple of days. So we'll break this down for you. Right now, Saturday, I don't want you to think it's going to be a washout, but we could see some scattered storms kind of throughout the day. So Friday morning or Saturday morning maybe look a little gloomy. Then throughout the afternoon, we'll see the heat and instability build up and then giving those thunderstorms out there. And then things will begin to clear out late in the day on Saturday. So that'll be the theme of the next couple of days. So see scattered showers and storms, warm on Sunday, high of 81. So a most likely better chance of rain there on Sunday through the afternoon, late in the evening. Again, kind of similar setup. We'll most likely see things clear out. And again, for your Monday, we'll most likely see a similar situation as we make our way towards the start of next week. It does appear we are going to be in a bit of a wet pattern as we make our way for the next several days. And what's happening with these over the weekend, again, I told you earlier, is that cutoff retrograded low pressure that has just been throwing back moisture continuously along the eastern coast of North Carolina, allowing some of that beach erosion to take place. And of course, the series with erosion, you get that level flattening out with that a little wind, a little rain in there. And of course, you get a little bit of unorganization with the sediments in the soil that kind of just allows that stuff to just collapse down. And that's what causes that erosion to occur. So that is something to keep that in mind. And again, Monday, we'll just begin to see the finally exiting of this low pressure system, throw back some final showers and storms here. Other than that, we'll begin to see the daytime heating take apart. And it does look like looking on next Monday, we could see the return of the 80s and maybe some 90s roughly around a week from this weekend. So our summer heat fans, Luis, I know you like the warm weather. You could possibly see our first 90s of the year. So other than that, it is game time, as they say in the time of sports. We're going to actually turn things over to sports in just a second here. But again, it's been great feeling here with you this week, as always. I've had fun filling for Luis, and thanks so much for him. And always, I always like to let, whenever I'm in, y'all come through here, this area, whenever I want to take a visit to this TV there and make some time for Luis to take a day off. It's always much greatly appreciated. So Luis always enjoys his time off. I want to thank him for always allowing me to come in and say, a lot of times he'll say, Dustin, give me that anchor desk. I have a lot of stuff for you to read. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it for you. So anyway, it's always a pleasure to do that. And stick around and say farewell to you this weekend. Hope you have a wonderful time with your family. If you're heading out to Blacksburg's Virginia Tech commencement ceremony, do know that it's going to be wet and rainy up towards the I-81 area up there. If you have any students or if your children are graduating, to keep that in mind. I know you want to leave a few days early, so maybe hit the road today so you're not traveling in the rain early tomorrow morning, so you can beat that traffic in time up there. As you know, that is a very congestible area. A lot of times things occur up towards the I-81 corridor and 581 going into Roanoke. So most of you know that too. And then also it is Patrick and Henry's graduation Saturday. So other than that, you want to have the coats and umbrellas there with you, as most of those indoor ceremonies will be taking place. So keep that in mind as well. And I'm going to head off now. That's what you do as a Southerner. You never say goodbye once. You got to say goodbye about 5 times, as much as you do know that as too. So take care, everybody. I'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll talk about some more sunshine. And of course, the first 90s could be on the way.
Your BTW21 weather forecast is sponsored by Zentmeyer Chiropractic.